Welcome to our driving tour of Felton, Delaware. Small town located in southern west side, Kent County. Kent County is our most central of our three counties. And what we're going to be doing for you today is taking you through 5 key locations in Felton. Number 1, we're driving through right now. This is Killin Pond. This is one of the better nature centers that we have. You can see the pond covered in ice over on our left. Observation bridge was installed very recently, last couple of years. Number 2, we're going to be driving past Lake Forest High School. We'll also pass the elementary schools we enter downtown. Number 3, we'll hit Route 13, the spine of travel, really to and fro Felton. 4, we'll go through the downtown, as I mentioned, passing the elementary school. We'll talk about some of the houses, some of the bits about the market. And then number 5, we're going to hit the Farmland. We're going to drive through Burnite Mill, known as Main Street as you're going through Felton. And we're going to get out towards the western side of Felton that actually gets you closer to Maryland. And with that being said, I'm going to allow you to enjoy the tour. Fun fact for you, you've geocached before, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a geocache on this sign up here.
Oh, the Killin Pond sign?
It's actually, oh, yep, no, it's right here. This sign right here,
Yeah.
it's on the back of it, on the little red diamond.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fun story how we found that. If you're listening, you've never geocached before, it's basically a nationwide scavenger hunt. It's on an app, and you get hints. And there's 5 in Killin Pond. We could not find that last one. And when we were trying to figure out where around the sign it was, a police officer pulled up and he turned on his lights. I was sitting out there at the sign. Rachel and everyone was in the car, Ben, and Ben's my brother. Got the high school coming up on our left. In fact, we'll do a little drive through the parking lot real quick. Get you a sense of the facility. Got the Central Elementary School over on the right-hand side. We are taking a left into Lake Forest High School, which is the main high school, the only high school for those that live in the greater Felton area. So police officer pulls up. Go ahead, my friend. Police officer pulls up. And he immediately says, "What are you doing?" And I was like, how am I going to explain what I'm doing right now? And I said, well, you know, there's this thing called geocaching, and it's like a scavenger hunt, and I promise we're just trying to find this thing, and blah, 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 blah. And then he smiles and he says, "Did you find it?" And I said, "No." And he said, "It's right over here." And he knew exactly where it was. He found all 5, he said, like a few months ago.
Was he like Natural Resource Police? Or?
He was an actual police officer. I don't know why he was out there, but he did initially pull me over saying there had been some people who were messing with and actually destroying some of the street signs.
Yeah.
So he thought we were up to some no-good activities. The sports facilities over on our right, being captured today by the always fantastic videographer and media man Sean Wright in the passenger seat.
Hello, everybody.
I'm going to come back to you for your answer. We'll keep it quiet as we get out to Route 13, but I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite part and your least favorite part about Felton?
Gotcha.
One of 2 elementary schools over on our right. coming up on DuPont Highway. In front of us specifically, South DuPont Highway. And we're going to be taking a right going north. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Route 13, numerical name for South DuPont Highway, is the spine of traveling to and fro out of Felton. To get down south, you're taking Route 13. To get up north, you're taking Route 13, especially if you live in Felton. One thing any Feltoner, is that the right word? A Feltoner, you think?
Sounds right.
Feltonese? Yeah, Feltoner. One thing a Feltoner knows, going in the Felton, you always follow the speed limit. 45 does not mean 48. It means 45. And as we take a left here onto a street that has 3 names, between Main Street, Burnite Mill, and Mid-State Road. Mid-State Road would be if we went that way. Main Street is what we're about to hit. And as we push through Main Street, it turns into Burnite Mill. Sorry, the orchestral music in the background. Sean, what is your least favorite, we'll start there, one of the cons you think of living in Felton? Or I guess it could just be Felton as a whole.
I would say restaurants.
Restaurants, okay. Proximity to?
Proximity to restaurants, yeah. I would say there's not too terribly many, at least that I know of. I haven't been to Felton a lot, but the times I have been here and I want to eat, there really hasn't been many options, except for like Royal Farms and Goose Creek.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Behind us, we can't see it on camera, there is a Wawa that's being put in place. That is happening. Yep, that's been confirmed. There's an old storage facility. It is being transferred into I believe it's 21 acres worth of commercial space. Wawa will be one. We have Rofo on our left, and we have Felton Pizza. So yes, I would say food is probably one of the lesser desirable qualities.
Let's just add more gas stations, more varieties.
More variety of gas stations, more variety of gas. The subway over there really kicks. Yeah, this is an area, Felton, you'll find a lot of people as we're now entering spot number 3. Spot number 4. We have driven through the nature side of Felton Delaware, Killin Pond. We went past and through the parking lot of the Lake Forest High School, up Route 13, and now to number 4. We are driving through the main strip of Felton, downtown Felton. Now, I'm not going to tell you which because I'm not going to dox my parents, but I actually grew up on this street, right here on Main Street, Felton, Delaware. See the big stone church coming up on the right. And this is the quiet, small town environment that a lot of people are looking for. When you think small town, when you think Delaware, a lot of people think of the vibes that Felton gives off. Passing over the railroad track as we speak. Now, if we would have taken that right, that would take us to the post office. Over on the left, we have the town bank. On the right again, we have the town pizza shop and the town hardware store. It really fits and checks all the small town vibe boxes. And I'm sure some people watching right now are like, speed up, why are you going so slow? 25 means 25 in Felton.
Yeah, I've got a ticket in Felton.
You have?
Yeah, going a little too fast. Was run right through Felton, so that was the mistake. There ain't no joke around here.
No joke. No joke. My very first ticket in Felton was 28 to 25. Now, Main Street that we were just on has now officially turned into Burnite Mill. So Mid-State Road, Burnite Mill, Main Street, all the same road, all in Felton. Now we are going to loop it back and take it to Peach Basket to show you the easiest way to get to 13 before we finish our tour. Right now we are headed out into the boonies, into the farmlands. As you can see, we recently got some snow. If you're curious, we do have a weather video detailing the climate of Delaware, but you can usually expect 8 to 12 inches of snow per season. I think Felton's already gotten all of that in January of this year. 2025. This farm over to our right was almost purchased by somebody who wanted to have ostriches.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Is that you?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Good for you for pulling out the lore, but no, it wasn't me. A lot of people, when they're looking to move to Delaware, which, by the way, if you're one of those people, comment Delaware below, and I'll reach out to you specifically. Comment Delaware if you're looking to move to Delaware in the next 6 to 12 months. A lot of people want the small town feel. A lot of people want to get out in the sticks a bit, get their acres of land, be able to build on something private. Belton is the spot to do it, especially where we're at right now as we merge up on the last town before hitting Maryland, that'd be Harrington. This is where deals can be struck. This is where land is available. This is where a lot of people choose to make home. And we're going to turn right here on Hopkins Cemetery Road. We're going to do a little loop. We'll make it back to Burnite Mill. And then we'll take Peach Basket out to Route 13. And that will be the end of our tour together. That's a beautiful home right in front of us right there. That's quality. That's quality. Shout them out. The washer and dryer in the front yard comes with it too. A lot of people I know that have for decades held on to and lived out here in these areas. Passing Beagle Club Road, got Iron Mine. We're currently on a road called Sandtown Road. You don't see a high turnover rate in this area. Turnover rate being the amount of people that sell versus the amount of homes that there are. Typical town or neighborhood will see a 5 to 8% turnover rate as being normal. That's anywhere between 1 out of 20, 1 out of 12 homes going up for sale every year. Back areas of Felton fall way below that to sub 3% in a lot of areas, bringing it closer to 1 out of 30 to 1 out of 35 homes that'll hit the market each year. All right, Sean, I know there's been people waiting for me to ask you what's your favorite part about Felton. Is just to catch everybody up. Food is the biggest con. And I hear that. Growing up in Felton, which I did grow up in Felton, I guess I should have started with that, is you got to go to Camden or you got to go to Milford for the most activity. To go to the shops, to get the restaurants, even the gym. It was always Milford or Camden. So I hear that. What's the biggest pro of Felton? What's your biggest takeaway?
I'd say it's like a mix of two.
Okay.
And I think for me, it's like being away from people is a really good plus for me.
Being away from people.
Yeah, being able to get out in the sticks and just live your own land, get a farm going if you want to do that. I think that's a pretty good pro. And then the other one is Killin's. I really like being close to Killin Pond. It's one of my favorite parks.
And that's where we started.
Yeah.
And we barely saw it.
Yeah.
Barely saw it.
That's one of my favorite parks. So I'd say those are the two pros for me.
What specifically? Like if you could give me like the narrowed down top three. If someone was visiting Felton and maybe wanted to visit Killin Pond, why should they?
Ooh, you could kayak, which is really fun. That's a really good plus there. The trail is really cool. You go around the pond the whole time. You always see it.
We're turning left onto Peach Basket. Yeah, the pond being Killin's Pond.
Yeah, and then third is like they do, the camping. Camping's really cool. They got cool tent sites. It connects directly to the trails. They got a cool water park for your kids if you want to bring them.
I always forget about the water park.
Yeah, they got a water park. Make sure, so they do a certain thing. They do a morning session and an afternoon session. I always recommend doing the morning because it gets really, really busy and packed in the afternoon.
For the water park specifically?
Yes, water park specifically.
So it's two sections. Do you get tickets ahead of time or can you just show up?
You can show up, but I highly recommend getting in ahead of time because they will shut down the water park or shut down people coming in because it'll get overfilled.
And that's good.
Yeah, and they got water slides and stuff like that. If you got a small kid, they got a little kid section, water slides, stuff like that. So, yeah.
It is a pretty banging water park, just for being in the middle of Felton.
Yeah.
That's a really cool water park. Now that I think about it, the amount of food options that we have in comparison to having a water park.
Balances out.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's part of the beauty of Felton,
Diversification. You might be hungry, but you can go down the water slide as much as you want.
With your sub.
With your sub. I kept that Subway in business growing up. I mean...
Has it changed at all, or is it still the same?
I think the same people still work there. I think the two managers are still out there subbing it up. All right, beautiful people. if you're watching this and you want to learn more, know more, potentially move to Southern Delaware, I would love to interview to be your source of professional information for all things South DE. Grew up here in Felton, so this one hits close to home, but we are touring every Southern Delaware town that exists south of Dover. So if you'd like to be a part of that journey, hit the subscribe button. Only 82% of the people that are watching this are unsubscribed, so that's 4 out of 5. You're probably one of them. Helps our channel, and I've heard it helps the algorithm. And as we are coming up here on the stop sign is once again for Route 13, the auto exchange over on our left, Kubota dealership over to our front right. If you took a left, you'd head toward Camden, Frederica, Dover. And if you take a right, as we're about to do, you're gonna head right back on into Felton. To everybody watching, have a blessed day. Have a great one. And if Delaware is on your list for future locations, hit us up when you come visit. Talk to you soon.